welcome to Mind class. Today we're going to do the same routine we've been doing. I figured it's a great routine, let's stick with it, and then next week we'll change it to something else, okay? So today's word, perfect for today, I literally grabbed these cards and it just so happens that this aligns perfectly with what we're doing. I am aligned. My thoughts, words, and actions reflect my truth. So we're going to need our mats. If you want something soft for your knees, get that out. Start your watches on yoga, play some music if you'd like. And we're going to begin. We are starting seated on our bottoms, on our mats. And I will invite you to cross your legs, keep your legs straight, find a comfortable position for yourself. Most of the time people do this crossed leg, but I know that for some people, including myself, it can be uncomfortable. So just do what you can with your legs. I end up with them kind of straight out crossed. So let's go ahead and take a nice big inhale. Fingertips come behind the head, elbows wide. Let's close the elbows, roll our spine into a ball, and then roll out in reverse. Reach up, exhale, and then inhale again. Elbows come together, tuck your chin, roll your spine. We're folding right towards our legs, keeping a little ball crunch, and then rolling right back out of it. This is like our protection position. Protect yourself, but it's also rounding out our spine and getting everything on the back side loose, starting to engage your core. Let's go ahead and come up nice and tall through your center. We're just going to take your right hand out to the side and then take your ear to your left shoulder. And we reach and we reach and we reach. We keep trying to lengthen our fingertips. We're not forcing anything here. This is just about you reaching and stretching, elongate along this neck muscle area, okay? We all have it really tight. If anybody says it's not, I'd be surprised. But go ahead, surprise me. Maybe you're somebody who doesn't have that issue. All right, go ahead and switch sides. So reach your left hand out and then your right ear to your right shoulder. As you feel comfortable, go ahead and reach your fingertips just a little bit further. Or maybe reach your ear a little bit closer to your shoulder. Trying to stay tall through your spine. And then come back to neutral center. Reaching out with our right hand, we're going to take our left arm up and over, side bend. Reach, reach, reach. So we're reaching through the side of our rib cage. And then go ahead and bend your elbow, pat yourself on the back. A little bit of tricep right there, reaching your elbow towards the corner where your ceiling meets your wall. And then reach up again, come center, and let's switch sides. Big reach up and over, reach, reach, reach. Again, if you need to straighten out your legs or come into a straddle, pat yourself on the back, hold your bent elbow. Work on stretching the back of your arm, your tricep. We worked those yesterday if you did the lift class. We also worked lifting up your arms straight, your lat muscles that we're stretching right now. All the muscles that run along our back and our rib cage, we worked those yesterday too. So nice big stretch there, that felt good. All right, coming center, neutral again. Interlace your fingers, reach up overhead really tall. Release out to a T. Pull your fingertips back, 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 so the palms of your hands are coming back, opening up your chest. And then go ahead and bend at your elbows, take your palms behind your back, and pull your elbows behind you. So palms are facing the back wall. The tops of your hands are on low back, like chicken wings here. Release, come back up to your T, and then come back up to your I, and flow between I, T, and chicken wings. Chest opener. Elongate your spine and reach to the ceiling on your I, and then reach to the side walls and pull back behind you on your T, and then elbows pull back. Open up your chest and the front of your shoulders. Release. And we're going to rotate here. So you can use your thigh Hand behind you, tall through your spine, look over your shoulder. You can either hold here or switch and do the other side. Tall through your spine. I'm going to split a minute in 4 and do 15-second holds on each side, okay? If you'd like to join me, please do. Otherwise, this is the halfway mark. Switch sides, and if you're switching 15 seconds at a time with me, go ahead and switch back to the start. Looking over the right. Tall through your spine. And the last side, switch it over to your left if you're splitting it in 4s with me. Otherwise, if you're splitting it in half, keep holding. 5 more seconds. Come back to neutral, come back to center, and we're going to take a nice wide straddle fold. So feet go out as wide as you can get them, okay? As wide as you're comfortable as you lean forward with your chest and your chin up. Maybe you're walking your hands to the floor. Maybe you're walking your forearms to the floor. Maybe you're walking your elbows. You're going to just keep reaching. Some of you are going to be able to get your forehead. And if you aren't one of those people, you can always do a little baseball bat and see if you can get your forehead towards that top of the hand. Always thinking about keeping your chin above your heart, elongating from your spine forward. If we start curving our back and just crunching forward, we're doing more stretching to our back. So we want to make sure that we're opening up our legs right now. So reaching forward with your torso versus crunching your torso. Does that make sense? We're holding center for this one. And on the beat, we're going to come up to sit upright. Hands behind us, bend your knees, 90-90. So remember on our 90-90, we want to take our inner thigh towards the floor. And then we swivel. And you're going to adjust your hands and adjust your posture according to your hips. And we're going to swivel. So a variation of this that I really like, if you'd like to give it a try right now, is to lay down. And now try pulling the knee to the floor. You get a deeper stretch, yes? And it's more challenging. My knee doesn't actually get to the floor when I'm down like this, but you know what it does? It opens up the hips just a little bit deeper. I appreciate that. But we are going to come back up to mermaid next, so don't get too comfortable laying down. Swivel your hips either in a seated position or lay down. Bending your knees 90 degrees and always reaching that inner thigh towards the floor. All right, go ahead and take the right leg forward, left leg back. Right hand behind you. We're going to lift up mermaid. You can either float, dip, and lift, or you can hold. You may also do a variation of the two. So maybe you want to hold for 10, and then release, okay? You choose right now in the next 30 seconds. Tilt your tailbone under, lift your hips to the ceiling. Remember, you can take your palm to the floor or the palm to the ceiling. It does make a difference in the way you arch, so just choose and play around with it. All right, lower yourself down, take your left leg out from behind you. We're doing a hamstring stretch, so whatever you need to do with this leg in order to stretch your left hamstring, please do. You back it up here. Chest coming towards your knee or your thigh, and your nose coming ahead of you towards your toe. I'd like you to try to flex your foot, try to get your toes to the ceiling. Remember about lengthening through your torso towards your foot. And And bend both knees, bottoms of your feet come together into butterfly. So adjust your sit bones, draw your heels towards your inner thighs, tall through your spine, long neck, elbows into your thighs, leaning forward, opening up your hips. Breathing. I did a yoga class this weekend through the fitness streaming software that I use, right, through the programming that I use. Oh. He said to breathe in and out of your nose. And that was challenging for me because I'm used to inhaling and exhaling, especially when things become uncomfortable. And I decided I'm going to breathe my own way. But I always tell you, if you can do that really great yoga breathing, go for it. I'm not trained in it, nor do I necessarily like it. So sometimes we have to do the things we don't like. All right, we're going to take our left leg forward, right leg back. We've got mermaid again, left hand back. So whichever leg you didn't do, we're lifting and we're lowering, or you're holding. Hips come to the ceiling, tuck your tailbone under. To each their own, right? If you're in a yoga class and your yoga instructor tells you to breathe the way they tell you to breathe, you do it. Today, it's your choice. I also found that it was really hard for me to slow down and hold poses, that I much prefer this where you have the option to hold or flow, and I definitely missed Soul Fusion class live with you. So hoping that this Saturday nothing conflicts with that and I'm on live again with you. I think I'm gonna have to make it happen no matter what, even if I have to adjust time, because I miss you on my Saturday mornings. All right, go ahead and take your right leg, swing it out in front, whatever you need to do with your left leg. We're focused on the right hamstring, reaching towards your foot, toes to the ceiling, that's our goal. And even if your toes can get to the ceiling and you can reach down to your thigh and your chest is here, I'm okay with that. Even if you're at your calf or your shin, it doesn't necessarily have to be to your foot, okay? If you can get there. Just keep trying, keep aiming for that goal. Keep lengthening the back of the leg. On your exhale is a perfect time to reach a little bit further in your stretch. Go ahead and come back to neutral. Our seated work is pretty much done now, so let's go ahead and come to all fours. Let's start with cat-cow. So let's center ourselves, hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips, tuck your tailbone under, tuck your chin, round out your spine, push the floor away from you. And when you're ready, release, lift your chin, lift your tailbone. Control your arches up and down. Spread your shoulder blades apart as you round and arch. Feel them gently meet again as you lift your chin. Toes together, knees wide, sink back into child's pose. Let's take our left arm and thread it through our right. Walk your top hand out. Now take it parallel to your bottom hand. So almost like a clap. My arms are not really meeting there, but almost like a clap. And then open and close. Little spinal twist, little spinal rotation. This is going to challenge me to reach through my bottom arm a little bit more, so I invite you to do the same. Shoulders, back, open, close, and then let's walk our hands forward, switch arms. Thread the other arm through. Top arm straight, and then meet it over parallel with the other hand. And we're going to open, it's a little tighter on this side, and close. Reaching your bottom arm through just a little bit more. One more, open, twist, and close. Walk yourself center. And let's come to all fours. Curl your toes under, down dog. Here's our paddles. So remember, your paddles are just alternating heels towards the floor. A big ankle crack there. All right, so pull a heel towards the floor. Stretch out the back of your calf all the way to your hamstring. Roll through your ankle. Feel all those little bones and the little tiny muscles in your feet stretch out as you fan your toes out, fan your fingertips out. Chin up, eye gaze to your fingers. And I want you just to hold your down dog, both heels pulling towards the floor, tailbone lifted, reaching your shoulders away from your ears. I'm going to adjust myself back to center here. So down dog, hold, pulling your heels, stretching through the back of the legs, chin up, chin up. And let's take our right leg forward, low lunge. Go ahead and settle. And bring both hands in the instep. Remember, on our low lunge here, you can take your knee down, or you can lift your knee up, or you can float between the two. A little pulsing action, if you'd like, okay? If your leg is straight, you've got your heel pulling towards the back wall. If your knee is bent, you're leaning forward, opening up your hip flexors, letting the hips open up too. As you're reaching through maybe some pain, or maybe a little bit of discomfort, think about how this is going to feel when you're done, and think about how great this is for your muscles to be lengthening right now, okay? That's what I always think about. It's like, I'm going to feel really good when it's done, even if it's a little uncomfortable, okay? So let's go ahead and sink back, knee down, hamstring stretch. I invite you to hold this pose, toes to the ceiling as you sink back, or flow from lunge to hamstring stretch. So a little hamstring rocker from front to back or hold. Again, creating your own pattern, whether it's holding for 10 seconds each pose or rocking back and forth at your own pace. Both feel amazing, so I'm going to do a little bit of both. So I said we were repeating today. This is the third time we've done this class. Usually it's 2, we did an extra one, and it's fine. What's great about that is our next pose. So our next pose, as you're sitting here rocking back and forth, I want you to start thinking about it. To me, is the most challenging pose we have in class. It's the lizard, okay? So, think about this. Our third time's the charm, right? We've been getting a little bit deeper each week into our lizard, and we're going to be able to get a little bit deeper today. I just know it. So, if you need to, walk your foot out just a little bit, and we're going to try taking our opposite elbow down to the ground. And after you try that, you're going to try your inside elbow down to the ground. Can you do it? Did you do it? So, back knees down, open up this foot, and you know what? It might take your foot opening up a little bit wider for you to get that elbow down. That's okay. That's what a lizard would do, right? Try to keep your chin up, the crown of your head up, so that you're not looking down at your back knee or your crown to the floor. We want to lift up our crowns nice and tall. Again, that discomfort is there, but we're going to push through it. And maybe today you got a little bit further than you did last week, and that would be amazing. What's another option for you if you're just like, I can't get down yet? Maybe use a yoga block, okay? And maybe the yoga block's just on your inside arm, and that's okay. That's your baby step to getting towards your elbow down, okay? All right, let's go ahead and take this front leg into pigeon and settle. Feel free, if you have a yoga block or a really thick hardcover book, to use that as your prop. Okay? Settle into your pigeon. I want you to think about something, and I'm not saying either way is wrong or right, but is your back foot toe on the floor or top, like pad of your foot, toes on the floor? So top of your foot flat, or your toes kind of flexed in the back? So something that I'm aware of when we're stretching is I want my toe pointed in the back, the top of my foot on the floor. If I'm ready to go do a wild thing, I'm going to curl my toes under and get up. But for when we're just stretching like this, try to relax your foot. Something we don't touch on very often, but just thought we'd talk about that today while it was on my mind. All right, walk yourself to a plank. Hands to the feet. Roll it up one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. And then we're gonna go back into inchworm. Tuck your chin, round out your shoulders, your spine. Slowly reach to the floor. Take your time getting there in a hang position, and then hand by hand, flat palm to the floor. Walk to plank, pause. Walk yourself back. Roll yourself up slow and controlled. And let's come on down again, nice and slow, okay? Tuck your chin, round your shoulders, spine, one vertebrae at a time, sliding down. You can hang for a moment, and flat hand walk, walk, palms flat to the floor, hold your plank. 3, 2, 1, other leg forward, low lunge. So again, you have the option of keeping your knee lifted and reaching your heel to the back wall, or dropping that back knee and sinking into the stretch. Both are good options. You can float between each flow, up and down, maybe a little pulse, if that's the stretch that you need in the hip flexor here. Try to keep your chin above your heart. Go ahead and drop your back knee, sink back, hamstring stretch. Again, you're going to aim for your toes to the ceiling as you drop back. So here's another thought with that toe, okay? Are your toes curled under? Mine are on the side to support my hamstring and my butt back here. And if I would like to get a little bit deeper, I can release my toes and come back. Then you curl them under as you come forward into your low lunge, okay? So if you'd like to do the hamstring rocker, you're back and forth. Again, you can release the toes so the flat part, top of your foot's on the ground, or you can curl your toes under. It's going to be different for each of us, even per side. So I think that when I do the other leg, my toes are flat, and then when I do this one, I curl my toes under. So it's just a comfort thing. I know one of my hips is a little bit tighter than the other, but I'm going to try to flatten out on this side too and see what happens. All right, knee comes down. If you'd like to, walk this leg out a little bit. We're going into lizard again. So outside arm, elbow comes down. Inside arm, you're going to try to take that one down, and you're going to see how you land today, okay? If you need to, get out that yoga block or book. Give yourself a little lift while still coming down into your lizard pose. Hips are opening, okay? A little bit of discomfort is fine. If it's too uncomfortable, then you take yourself out of that tension. You release some of it by coming up a little higher. Another thing, if you don't have a yoga block, if you have a step, we've done step aerobics. If you have a step, you can always take your step, put it there. You could roll up a yoga mat and put it here. Okay, there's lots of things you can do. Be creative, be inventive. 5 more seconds, and then we're headed into pigeon. You're going to take your left leg forward and your right leg back, and we're going to think about our toe placement on this pigeon. So your back foot, is it curled under? Or are you going to release your toes and point them along behind you and settle down into your pigeon? Adjust yourself as the stretch becomes comfortable. Move your body a little bit to get deeper into the stretch. And then let's take our leg out from underneath us, come down to our bellies. We're going to take one arm and reach it forward, far, far, far ahead of us. Take your other hand under your armpit and lift just a little bit. And release back to the ground. Let's switch hands. So take your other arm right next to your armpit. Left arm reaches tall, tall, tall as far as it can go. Keep reaching, and then give yourself a little lift, a little boost. And release to the ground. Let's make a T with our hands. We're gonna take our left leg and twist to the right, a little scorpion tail here, okay? So this right arm needs to be adjusted. Move it where it needs to be. Your other hand can come underneath where your armpit is. Bend it, help yourself twist a little bit further. Open up your chest, open up your spine. Come back to center and switch sides. So make your big T. Take your other hand underneath your armpit. Adjust your outer arm. Scorpion tail over to the other side. Listen to your body. Just twist as much as your body allows you to. Don't push it here. We are working with our joint, shoulder joint, and our chest muscles, so let's make sure we're not over pushing it, okay? We're going to come back to our stomachs on the beat. Taking one hand to one foot, heel to the butt. If you can tolerate that, you think you can grab your other foot, grab your other foot. Oh, I did it. That's a challenge in and of itself. So what did I say? Lizard was the most challenging exercise today. I don't know, this one might be up there with it too. So we've got both heels to our rear. If you can, take a big inhale, push your hands into your feet into your hands, lift up, skydiver, or a little bit of a bow pose, and then release. So as you inhale, let your lungs fill up, push, 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 and then release, or just hold right here flat on the floor, okay? Options. Take the one that works for you. Gently release one foot, gently release the other. Come up to all fours, push back into child's pose, walk your hands forward. And take both hands off to the right. Your inner hand is going to reach as far as it can go. Pull your heel towards your butt. Your butt towards your heels. Walk yourself center, and then we're going to take our inside arm, reach it as far as it can go, then pull your butt towards your heels. I said it correct that time. Whew. You should feel a big stretch through your tricep, your back muscles, your shoulder, your obliques, your lower back. If you're not feeling that, I need you to reach your fingertips just a little bit further or drop your butt down a little bit deeper behind you. Walk yourselves center, lay down on your stomachs again. Keep your hands just underneath your armpits. We're going to lift up baby cobra. Elbows bent, lift, elongate through your spine, elongate through your neck, so a little head shake, no. You should do the trick to get your neck nice and long, and then release. If you'd like to come up full cobra, we're gonna lift all the way up, straighten out your elbows, shoulders out of your ears, either the tops of your thighs or your toes are on the floor, okay? Full cobra, the top of your feet would be on the floor, okay? And your thighs would actually be off. So if you wanna give it a try, flow between baby cobra and full cobra. Full cobra, when we're in our chaturanga, is thighs off the floor. Maybe it's someplace that you're still working to get to, and just the tops of your feet are on the floor. Okay, a lot of times we're here, a little bit of a saggy belly, and that's okay. All right, last thing we're gonna do today is child's pose. Instead of reaching your arms up overhead, I'd like you to take your arms down towards your toes and lower your forehead to the floor. As you breathe, I want you just to think about releasing everything into the floor. Inhale, and then exhale. Everything should be feeling warm and a little bit looser, and so you should feel more relaxed and aligned and want to just melt right now, okay? That's the goal, is just to feel like we're laying here relaxing for another 30 seconds, so breathe. You can either stay right there or come to all fours, curl your toes under, walk yourself in from a down dog, roll yourself up, take a nice big inhale at the top. Thank you for joining today. I know your body will appreciate it. This time is very precious, so make sure that you're making time for this. Again, I do this with you because I need to make time for it too. This is a mutual thing here, okay? I don't want to just preach to you. I want to practice what I preach. So thank you for joining me today. Have a great day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. We have a new kickboxing routine, okay? Bye, guys.